Your brain is being hijacked right now. You don't even know it. In the year 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. Today, it's 8 seconds. We literally have shorter attention spans than goldfish. But here's what's really terrifying. This isn't an accident. There are forces billion-dollar industries that profit from your inability to think deeply. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how they're doing it. Why it's the greatest threat to human freedom in history, and most importantly, how to fight back. Because what I'm about to reveal will change everything you think you know about your own mind. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you read an entire article without checking your phone? When did you last sit in silence for more than 5 minutes without feeling anxious? If you can't remember, you're not alone. The average person now checks their phone 144 times per day. That's once every 6.5 minutes of waking hours. We're consuming 34 gigabytes of information daily. That's enough to crash a laptop from the 1990s. But here's the kicker. We're not processing any of it. We're just consuming. We've become mental junk food addicts, gorging ourselves on bite-sized opinions, hot takes, and emotional triggers. Just like junk food ruins your body, this mental junk food is destroying something far more precious, your ability to think. Think about the last argument you had online. Did you change your mind? Did they change theirs? Or did you both just get more entrenched in your positions? Welcome to the reaction economy, where platforms make money from your outrage, not your understanding. Where engagement matters more than truth. Where the goal isn't to inform you, it's to inflame you. It's working perfectly. How did we get here? How did the species that put a man on the moon, that decoded DNA, that built the internet, suddenly lose the ability to think clearly? The answer might shock you. We were taught not to think. Our education system wasn't designed to create free thinkers. It was designed during the Industrial Revolution to create factory workers, obedient, punctual, unquestioning. John Taylor Gatto, a 30-year teaching veteran and New York State Teacher of the Year, said it best. Schools don't really teach anything except how to obey orders.
For schooling is the design and the execution of corporate foundation.
But the real damage started when we moved online. Neuroscientist Marianne Wolf discovered something terrifying. Our brains are literally being rewired by digital media.
And every one of you on a screen 2 to 10 hours a day.
Neural pathways responsible for deep reading, critical analysis, and sustained attention are withering away. We're not just losing the habit of thinking, we're losing the biological capacity for it. Every notification, every like, every share gives you a hit of dopamine. Your brain becomes addicted to the quick high, and real thinking slow, difficult, uncertain, feels boring by comparison. But here's what's really insidious. This isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. The companies that control your attention discovered something that would make Edward Bernays proud. A population that couldn't think deeply is a population that's easy to control. Can't focus long enough to read the terms and conditions. Perfect, just click agree. Can't analyze complex political issues. No problem. Here's a slogan that makes you feel smart. Can't tell the difference between correlation and causation. Excellent, buy our product because 9 out of 10 doctors recommend it. You think you're making choices, but you're just following the script they wrote for you. Now I'm going to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. There are people who don't want you to think clearly, and they're very good at what they do. This isn't conspiracy theory, it's documented history. In ancient Rome, they called it bread. And circuses keep the masses fed and entertained, and they won't question your power. In Nazi Germany, they called it propaganda flood. The information space with so much noise that people give up trying to find the truth. Today they call it engagement optimization. Same strategy, better technology. Let me show you how this works in practice. Social media algorithms don't show you what's truth. They show you what keeps you scrolling. Outrage gets more engagement than nuance. Certainty gets more shares than humility. Tribal thinking gets more comments than independent thought. So that S, what the algorithm feeds you. A constant stream of content designed to make you angry, afraid, or superior to others. And here's the genius part. They don't just feed you lies, they feed you half-truths. Carefully selected facts that support a predetermined narrative while hiding anything that might complicate the picture. You feel informed, but you're actually being manipulated. This creates what researchers call confident ignorance people, who know just enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be wise. But the most insidious part isn't what they read doing to your mind. It's what they've convinced you to do to yourself. You've learned to police your own thoughts, to second-guess your instincts, to stay quiet when something doesn't feel right because you do and want to be labeled a troublemaker, a conspiracy theorist, or worse, someone who thinks differently. They don't need to silence you anymore. You silence yourself. But here's the thing about the human spirit. It can't be crushed forever. Right now, as you're watching this, something is happening in your brain. Synapses that have been dormant are starting to fire. Questions you've suppressed are beginning to surface. And that feeling, that slight discomfort, that urge to argue with what I'm saying, that's your critical thinking coming back online. The first sign that you're breaking free is when you start asking questions that others find uncomfortable. But why do I believe this? Who benefits from me believing this? What if the opposite were true? What am I not being told? These questions are dangerous to the system. So once you start asking them, you can't stop. You begin to notice patterns, contradictions, the gaps between what people say and what they do. The difference between what makes you feel good and what's actually true. It's like seeing The Matrix for the first time. Suddenly, you realize how much of your life has been spent in mental prison. But freedom isn't free. It comes with a price. When you start thinking for yourself, you become lonely. Your old friends might not understand you anymore. Your family might worry about you. Society might label you as difficult, negative, or worse. This is why most people choose comfortable lies over uncomfortable truths. Why they prefer the warmth of the herd to the cold wind of independence? But you're not most people. Gosh, you're still here. You're still listening. You're still thinking. So let me give you the tools to complete your liberation. First, master the art of not knowing. The phrase "I don't know" is not a weakness, it's a superpower. It's the beginning of all real learning. Second, seek out your intellectual enemies. Find the smartest people who disagree with you and really listen to them. Not to attack them, but to understand them. Because if you can't argue against your own position, you don't really understand it. Third, practice delayed response. When something makes you angry, wait 24 hours before reacting. Anger is almost always a sign that your ego is being threatened, not that truth is being revealed. Fourth, read books, not just articles. Your brain needs to remember how to sustain attention for hours, not minutes. And finally, embrace the discomfort of complexity. The world is not black and white, and neither are the solutions to its problems. Real wisdom lives in the gray areas that most people are too lazy or scared to explore. About to tell you is the most important thing you'll hear today. The future of human freedom depends on people like you learning to think clearly again. Every major breakthrough in human history came from someone who dared to think differently. Galileo looked through a telescope when everyone else was looking at scripture. Darwin asked questions about species when everyone else accepted creation stories. Martin Luther King dreamed of justice when everyone else accepted the status quo. They weren't smarter than everyone else. They were just willing to think when others chose comfort. And now it's your turn. You have two paths ahead of you. One leads back to the comfortable numbness of mental slavery, scrolling, reacting, consuming, conforming. It's easy, it's popular, it's safe. The other leads to something harder, but infinitely more valuable: intellectual freedom, the ability to see clearly, think independently, and live authentically. This path is lonely at first. It requires effort. It means admitting you've been wrong about things. It means losing some friends and making new enemies. But it also means something else. You get to be fully human again. You get to experience the joy of genuine discovery. The satisfaction of earning your beliefs through investigation rather than inheriting them from algorithms. The quiet confidence that comes from knowing your mind is your own. Here's the beautiful part. When you think clearly, you become a beacon for others. Your presence in a room changes the conversation. Your questions reveal truths that others couldn't see. Your calm certainty in an age of manufactured chaos becomes a gift to everyone around you. One clear mind creates another, and another, and another. This is how all great changes begin, not with mass movements or viral campaigns, but with individual humans who decide to wake up and think for themselves. So here's my challenge to you. Turn off your notifications for the rest of today. Just today. See what it feels like to have an uninterrupted thought. Read one article from someone you usually disagree with, not to attack it, but to understand it. Ask yourself 3 why questions about something you believe strongly. Keep asking until you hit bedrock, either solid truth or uncomfortable uncertainty. And if this message resonated with you, share it. Not because it's trendy or because it makes you look smart, but because it might wake up one more person who's ready to start thinking again. The death of thought is not inevitable, it's a choice. And every day, every moment, every interaction is a chance to choose differently. The revolution begins in your mind, and it begins now. Your brain is the only thing that makes you human. Don't let them take it from you, because the most radical thing you can do in 2025 is learn to think for yourself. See you in the next one. Keep thinking.